Let's go with the New England Patriots to start things off.
Okay.
And for New England here, in terms of just general analysis, team needs, Harris, what are we looking at?
Well, it starts and ends on the defensive side of the ball. I think you could throw out tackle as well, but they got to get someone to the inside of that defense at linebacker. They had such a sore spot without Donta Hightower in the middle of that defense, but they tried so many guys there. Kyle Van Noy worked for about 4 games and he got hurt. Landon Roberts was a total disaster on the defensive side of the ball. They even tried Jordan Richards at linebacker in Super Bowl, and we all saw how that happened. They ended up giving up 41 points. So I think they're going to target linebacker in the draft. First things first. That 23rd overall pick is going to be linebacker. They're going to move up for a linebacker. They got to go with someone to show up in the middle of that defense. And my first option for them is Rashaan Evans. I think he's the perfect fit in the middle of that defense. This is how the conversation would go. Belichick will call up Saban and go, "What do you think of Rashaan Evans?" Saban will go, "He's a great, draft him." And boom, he'll be the number 23 pick in the draft. That's how these calls go. That's how Donta Hightower went. That's how all of the Alabama guys, Cyrus Jones, that's how all of the Alabama guys end up on the Patriots. That Nick Saban-Bill Belichick connection is one of the strongest across football. I just think it's a perfect fit. It makes sense on so many different levels. And also on the field, it's a great fit. He would make an instant impact right in the middle of that defense. I would love to see him in a Pats uniform.
All right, we got Kolton Miller here at the tackle. A lot of people kind of peg him as Soldier 2.0.
He is Nate Soldier 2.0. He's big, he's from a Pac-12 school, and he gets in the way. I also think he's a good fit for what the Patriots like to do at left tackle. Look, their entire offensive scheme from a tackle standpoint is give him to Dante Scarnecchia and let him mold him into a starting NFL tackle. He took Marcus Cannon, a 6th-round pick out of TCU, who had leukemia, and turned him into one of the best right tackles in all of football. You're telling me he couldn't take an athletic big guy from UCLA and turn him into a great left tackle? I have a lot of confidence in what Dante Scarnecchia would be able to do with Kolton Miller. He's still my pick for who the Patriots are going to take at 31 unless they trade up to 5 or 3 or even 1. Who knows at this point with the Patriots and their rumors, but Kolton Miller would be a great pick for the Pats at 31.
Let's take a look at the quarterback position here. Mason Rudolph, you're not a big fan of this.
No, I threw him in there because the Patriots are going to draft a quarterback at some point. And as of right now, Mason Rudolph is, as I like to call him, Cam, he's the flavor of the week quarterback for the Boston media. One week it was Kyle Lauletta from Richmond. The next week it was Logan Woodside from Toledo. The next week after that it was Mason Rudolph. And this week it's going to be Mike White, the guy from Western Kentucky. Eventually we'll find a quarterback that the Patriots want, but it's not going to be a single guy that the Patriots have had any sort of meetings or rumors or anything with. I think Mason Rudolph would be a nice backup quarterback for Brady over the past couple of years. He'd be able to give a young guy a chance to learn the system. Maybe when Brady leaves, you give Rudolph a shot. But in terms of a franchise heir, I don't think that's what Rudolph is. I think they take him at the top of the 2nd round as a backup so they have someone that isn't just Brian Hoyer on the team.
All right, well, the big question out there, should the Patriots draft Tom Brady's successor this year?
I don't know. It really depends on which quarterback they love. I'll put it this way. From the rumors and sources that I have, they love 2 quarterbacks. They love Josh Rosen and they love Lamar Jackson. After that, it's a complete toss-up. With Lamar Jackson, they're only going to take him if he's on the board at 23. They're not going to trade up for him, and they're going to have to trade up into the top 5 to take Josh Rosen. After that, any quarterback that they take is strictly to be a backup. They're not going to draft Tom Brady's heir unless it's a 1st-round or 2nd-round pick that is just an outstanding talent at quarterback. And honestly, not many guys fit that bill.
All right, well, let's get to your last player here, Harris, that you're targeting for the Patriots. Taven Bryan, defensive tackle out of Florida. Talking about the interior of that defense, certainly important there.
Yeah, and I'd take him mostly for the most part that you have Danny Shelton, who the Patriots just traded for with the Cleveland Browns, who's more of a run stuffer. Taven Bryan is more of a pass rusher. I think if you took Taven Bryan and you took Danny Shelton, you mushed them into one player, you'd have a really, really good D tackle, but they're just 2 halves of the same pie. I think that they'll use him on a rotational basis. He'd be a nice player on the front end of that defense, but that'd be someone they take if Kolton Miller wasn't on the board at 31. I'm still under the impression that they're going to trade out of one of these picks because the last time Bill Belichick had 2 first-round picks, he traded up in the draft. I can't see that happening a second time.
All right, let's summarize Harris's targets for the Patriots: Rashaan Evans, Kolton Miller, Mason Rudolph, and Taven Bryan there for New England.